What up, YouTube? It's your boy KingPen The Groomer. This is Well Groomed TV. It's the first of many videos to come. Lots of content to post. Right now we're starting off with this ball taper, a high ball taper, using my wall magic clips with the 1.5 guard closed. Just going around the head, pretty much smoothing his hair out. Pretty much in every video that I post, I'll be showing you a systematic approach to your haircuts. Every step in the haircut is going to flow into the next, and every step is done in unison. So that means if I'm using a specific guard or a specific tool, I'm using it on every part of the haircut until I can't use it anymore. And then I move on to the next step. When I'm smoothing out the hair on the tapers, I usually like to go around the head twice, just to make sure the hair is laid down as much as possible. And that way I don't have to come to this step again. I just move on to the next step, keeping my flow, which is important when you're cutting, is keeping a good steady flow. Gets everything done efficient. So here I'm moving on to my 2 guard close. I'm pretty much clearing out bulk in the back of his head, working it all the way up to the occipital bone. And this 2 guard close actually translates into a 1.5 open, and that's just pretty much setting up the top of my fade. It's important to understand how your guards transition into one another. Once you understand your guards, you're eliminating guesswork when it comes to your fade. So for example, I use the 1.5 close with the grain, but I'm going against the grain with the 2 closed. It's not taking off a lot of hair, but as you can see, it's actually smoothing the hair out even more. And now I'm on to the next step. I'm working with my trimmers. In this step, I'm just pretty much setting my guidelines. And once again, I'm using that tool until I can't use it anymore, creating an efficiency, a flow in the haircut. And here I'm working with a 1.5 open, and that transitions from that 2 guard close that I use to clear out bulk. It's pretty much the same length, but I'm just pretty much using the corner of my blade and just spot checking. And this will get that smooth transition on the fade, starting from the top. And see here, I closed it, pretty much just setting the top of that fade in, and that way I don't have to come back to that step anymore. And it actually sets a smooth, like I said, a smooth transition. And here I got the clipper halfway open, and I'm just blending it in even more. And now I know where my fade ends, and I'm pretty much doing the same steps on the sides. And right here I got the clipper closed, and I'm just working that blend in. I'm moving kind of fast, so you probably won't see me adjust it, but that blend is being worked in, and it is being adjusted as I'm combing through it and just seeing how my transition comes together. And on this side, I start with the 1.5 open, because I've been cutting his hair for a while. I understand how that his sides don't grow the same, and so I gotta tend to them differently. All right, so here I got the clipper closed, and we're starting it from the bottom. From this point forward in the fade, you'll see me adjusting my clipper from closed, halfway open right there, to all the way open. And that's with every guard that I use. And that's on the sides and the back, all together in unison. It just pretty much creates that flow in the haircut. You're getting it done efficiently, and you don't have to backtrack. And so here I got the clipper all the way open. That's the last step in the back of the haircut, with just the clipper and no guard, starting from the bottom of the fade. And I'm just making sure it's extra clean, and I won't have to come back to it anymore. Moving on to the side, same exact steps. Starting it off with it closed, adjust it open halfway, knock it out about a 1/4 inch. Make sure it's extra clean. Go over it as many times as possible. Just keep it moving. Now I got the O guard or the 1/16 guard closed. I'm just bringing that fade up a little bit more, about a 1/4 inch. Just following the same steps of adjusting. Closed, halfway, all the way open. When you see me using any guard, when it comes to fading, I'm always going to use the corner of my blade. That is key when it comes to fading. It pretty much prevents any type of line in your fade, and it prevents you raising your fade up higher than what you want it to. I know where I'm setting my fade in, and I know where my measurements are, and using the corner of my blade allows me to stay within that specific measurement and not to raise my fades up higher than what they need to be. So here we go, same steps on the side, just doing the same old thing, getting it done. Now I got the one guard closed, and this is the last step in the fade, pretty much working it all the way up. Doing it in like I said, in 1/4 inch measurements, because as you remember, I already set in the top of my fade, so you'll see how this one guard is really like the middle ground of the fade, and it's gonna bring everything together. Moving on to the sides, I'm starting with the clipper open, and this is just gonna clear the extra bulk that's in that top region of the fade, but it's also bringing that contrast in from the bottom of the fade as well as I adjust it. So really it just creates a cleaner transition, and it's actually smoother, and you don't create any type of hard lines, and you're not bringing your fade up higher than what you need it to be.